Mrs. Rinkins, we may have a rule.
So maybe those sandbags were the balloon's anchors.
Now don't worry. I'm gonna help you. Ow! Ooh, ow.
Oh, I forgot to take pictures.
Of all the birds George loved to visit at the aviary, the cerulean warbler was his favorite. Which is why today was so important.
Well, Director, here's the book. Everything you ever wanted to know about the cerulean warbler in just 1,400 pages.
Very impressive.
I want everyone to know that the warbler is endangered. There aren't many left. Hopefully, this will do the trick.
Oh, a book like this will help get the word out. How's it selling?
Not so well. We were hoping you could give them to all the bird lovers who come here to the aviary.
Sure. How many?
Just a few. 100?
Well, it's a very important topic, so I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. I have another plan for spreading the bird word, George. I'm meeting today with Lance Libro. He owns a big chain of bookstores. And you know what I'm gonna say? Mr. Libro, the cerulean warbler needs your help. You must carry my book. Oh, boy.
Later that morning, George was still thinking about the warbler and the fact that their bathtub was filled with books.
Lemonade! Get your free lemonade!
Say, can I have another?
Gosh, this is wonderful.
The best ever!
Hey, George, you know why they call me the Lemonade King? Free samples. Once people try this stuff, they're hooked. They can't get enough, and they bring back their friends.
This is the best ever. I'll take 2, please.
Wow, sure.
That gave George an idea. If people got free samples of the man's book, maybe they'd give some to their friends, too. That'd be a great way to spread the bird word.
What you got there? Ah, the man's warbler book? With each lemonade, you're going to give a free book? In business, we call that a 2-for-1. Can't miss.
But not everyone who wanted lemonade wanted a book. Either it didn't fit on a bicycle, or it was too yellow, or they didn't know how to read.
Another great sales day for the king. How'd you do? Looks like you need to reach more people. You should advertise. Huh? It means show what you got so people know you're here. Check out my sign. That's the idea. You just need to put the sign where a lot of people can see it. Now you're talking. People will see that for miles. Want some help? Okay, so we need to paint something that'll really grab people. A picture with pizzazz. Boring. Super boring. Mega boring. Bingo! Now for the paint. Sheesh, that billboard is kind of high. George, how about you paint and I'll supervise from here, okay? Don't forget the picture.
When George got close to the billboard, he could see things he couldn't see from far away, like the fact that the billboard wasn't just one big sheet of paper, but 6 sheets glued together.
That's it! Start from the center! Neatness counts! I'm here for you, buddy! Go. Ha! Score! Hey, George. Are you done? George? Did you paint the picture on the billboard the same size as this? Oh, that explains it. You painted too small. I'll show you. You can't see small stuff from far away.
So George resolved to paint big. He'd cover every last inch of that billboard.
Oh, hi, George. How'd you do? Huh? It looks like you painted only part of the picture. Did you run out of room?
George wondered how he could get a small picture onto a big billboard. Then he noticed something. The fold marks on the picture were just like the rectangles on the billboard.
Get it? Match the rectangles here with the rectangles there. That'll work. Here, I'll make it easier. Six rectangles. Paint one at a time, and you're good to go.
This time, George was sure he'd get it right.
What? George, come down here quick! Look! You're painting the rectangles out of order. Let's put the pictures back in order. Okay, that looks good. But how do we keep them in order when you're up there?
George remembered that numbers were a good way to keep track of things.
You're numbering them? Good idea.
To keep everything straight, George numbered the rectangles on the billboard in the same order.
Looking good, George! Boy, talk about a slow news day.
Hey, there's a monkey painting a billboard.
I wish. There's a monkey painting the billboard! Pull over!
report. Today, live. One monkey, one billboard, one story you'll never forget.
Mr. Libro, won't you please reconsider? My book is very important.
Yeah, but is it funny?
Well, no.
See, that's a problem, 'cause I like funny. Hey, what's everybody staring at?
Is that a monkey?
What's he doing?
Oh, no.
I know that billboard.
What?
Look at that! A monkey painting a goofy guy with a bird on his... Wait a minute. You're the guy.
Yep, it's me and my monkey.
Brilliant advertising campaign. If your book is half as brilliant as that billboard, then I'm sold. I've never seen anything like it. This book is selling like hotcakes.
Well, George deserves the credit for that.
It made me laugh. It made me cry. It made me want to donate half the proceeds to the Warbler Foundation.
And there you have it. One book, one monkey, one recipe for sales success. Reporting live from Lots of Libros.
Don't forget, save the warbler.
And try Steve's lemonade.
A warm country day. George's favorite time to go boating. Toy boating, that is. Even a toy boat captain can hit rough seas in his favorite perfect pond. Sea captains don't cry, they make repairs. Or ask a friend to.
I can have it fixed for you first thing tomorrow morning, Captain.
So, at exactly 10 seconds before the first thing the next morning...
Right on time. There you go. Ready to set sail again.
George rushed back to his perfect pond to set sail. Now he had a boat, but no pond. And the creek was only a trickle. Where could a whole pond go? He didn't find his pond, but he found a strange wall in the creek. Here's what happened to the water. It got stuck behind this wall.
Hey, George! Looking for the Beaver family? The beavers built their dam to make this great pond. Bet you never see beavers working in the city, huh? Yep, that's them now, working in the woods. I took pictures of them. Don't get too close while they work or they'll get upset. Bye!
So these were the beavers. George tried to tell them their branches were floating away. He must have gotten too close. If the beavers didn't want him watching, he'd just sail his boat. If they wouldn't share their pond, he'd make his own. All he had to do was build a dam like they did. must be an easier way to get wood for a monkey dam. Mrs. Rinkin's scrap wood.
Been having lots of fun with your boat? Oh, you want the scrap wood, do you? Take it. I'll even hitch the cart to Leslie to help haul it.
Now he had wood. What else would be good for stopping water? Upstream, George found the perfect spot for a monkey dam toy boat sail pond. Getting wood to sit still and be a dam was harder than it looked. Water was still getting through. He had to stop the leaks. Then George realized a raincoat can block the water. At last, George had built a dam. And now he had a pond, too. He was ready to set sail. But he'd left his boat home. George was in such a hurry to get his toy boat that he didn't notice the beavers had less water now. The beavers knew whatever stopped their water had to be upstream. George's dam was ruined. The beavers. They did this. Building a dam twice in one day was hard work. At last, nothing could stop George from boating now. George didn't mind rain. It meant his pond would be bigger tomorrow when he brought Bill to see it.
Okay, George, I'm coming. George, a dam calls for two important elements: proper construction and water.
Those beavers. Of course. They must be behind this.
This isn't good. The water's important to the beaver's home. There must be something wrong up the creek past your dam.
George saw the problem. That fallen tree was acting just like a dam.
We're going to need someone strong to move this. You're coming back, aren't you? Leslie, there's a proper way to... I'm explaining to a cow. Move! Yes! What's wrong? They should be happy. That water built up so much force it's wrecking what's left of your dam. Oh no, the beaver dam!
George and Bill watched the beavers work together to defend their home against the raging waters.
Look! Pieces of your dam!
George wondered if he needed a pond for his toy boat as much as the beavers needed their home. George didn't even miss his old perfect pond. But he was probably going to need Mrs. Rinkins to build more boats.